All right, today we're going to be looking at notes to find the mean, which is also known as the average. So the first thing we're going to do, our step one when finding the mean, is we're going to add all the numbers in the data. Then our second step is that we're going to divide by the number of data points. That means how many numbers you added up, that's the number you're going to divide by. All right, so let's go ahead and let's do our first step. So we're going to add. So when looking at a graph, I want to add these numbers that are on top of the bars here. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in. I'm going to add 31. I'm going to add 35. I'm going to add 28, 46, and 24. All right, and when I add all these up, I add up 31, 35, 28, 46, 24. I get, and you can plug it in your calculator if you need to, I get 164. Now that I've done step one, I'm going to look at step two. Step two says to divide by the number of data points. That means how many numbers you added up. Well, let's count. We added up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. So since I added up 5 numbers, I would then divide by 5. So I would take 164, divide that number by 5, and go ahead and plug it in. So in your calculator, you would plug in 164, then you would hit divide 5, and our mean is 32.8, or 32 8/10. Pretty simple. All right, let's try another problem here. When given a table, okay? So here, we're going to make sure we follow step one. We're going to add all the numbers that are in the table. So we're going to add up 80 plus 81 plus 40 plus 77 plus 82. And when I add up all of them, I get 360. Oh, let me make that a little bit better, a little bit clearer. We get 360 as our total. Okay, but that's only step one. Now we have to do step two. After we get our total, we have to take our total, which is 360, and we now have to divide it by how many numbers we added. And we added up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. So now I have to take 360 and divide it by 5. And 360 divided by 5 is 72. Therefore, my mean would equal 72. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's look at this last problem together here. We're going to do step one. Remember, step one means that we're going to take all our numbers and we're going to add them up. So we're going to add up 100. We're going to add 92, 84, 85, 0, 79, 88, and 90. Okay, go ahead and take your time and add up those numbers. Okay, when you add up 100 plus 92 plus 84 plus 85 plus 0 plus 79 plus 88 plus 90, we should get 618. Now, remember, after we get our total, we're then going to take the total, which is 618, and we're going to divide it by how many numbers we added. So we added up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, you do even have to include the 0. Even though it doesn't have a value, it's still a number in your data. So it does count as part of your data. So we're going to take 618 and divide it by 8. And 618 divided by 8 is 77.25, or 77 25 So our mean would be 77 25